Hi, we're the Fun Chasers, Pam and John Kane. Are you the person who does all the planning for your family travels? Us too. Turn that planning into an experience because you really need to enjoy the journey as much as you do the trip, right? Well, we generally travel with 3 generations in tow, so we're always looking for fun things to do, great places to eat, and kid-friendly experiences. And we'll share them all with you. So are you ready for some fun? Join us. This is the Fun Chasers Bucket List. Our next stop on the Fun Chasers bucket list takes us to another beach town with a dangerous past, filled with pirates and shipwrecks and treasure. Of course, it also has beautiful beaches and a lighthouse. Because, lighthouses are kind of my MO. But if you enjoy fishing, snorkeling, and a party crowd like no other, you've got your party shirt on.
I got the shirt.
I think he's ready. Then this is your spot.
It is.
Today we'll be exploring the southernmost point of the United States.
Can you guess where we're going?
Jimmy Buffett's town. Today we're going to Key West, Florida. John, I don't know about you, but I've always wanted to go to Key West.
Well, believe it or not, I have been to Key West one time, but I don't remember a lot about it because I was just a kid.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. What I do remember from that time is how the color of the water changed after we started crossing the long bridges that run the length of the Florida Keys. Yeah, the grayish waters of the Atlantic Ocean dissolved into this beautiful turquoise waterway that didn't seem real. And it wasn't just blue, it was these vivid shades of aquas and emeralds. The bridges were a series of connected causeways, and it just seemed to float above the water, giving you this feeling that you were gliding across a magical sea.
Well, that sounds absolutely wonderful. See, that's why I want to go. Yeah. So when you were there, did you get to see, like the southernmost point buoy?
I think so, yeah.
How about the Hemingway House?
Barely, but I think so.
That sounds like a story. How about Sloppy Joe's?
Sloppy Joe's? What is that?
Well, it's a bar.
Oh.
Pretty famous one in Key West. I'm kind of surprised that you haven't heard about it.
Well, did I mention I was just a kid? When I was under 21, I didn't make it a habit to go bar hopping with my parents in tow. But do you suppose they serve Sloppy Joe's at Sloppy Joe's? Maybe a little bit of key lime pie?
I suspect they do. Along with wings and beer and pretty much anything else you'd want to eat.
Ooh, good.
And they have live entertainment every night. But what makes Sloppy Joe's a destination on the bucket list is its connection to Ernest Hemingway.
Hemingway?
Yeah, Hemingway. There's actually a lot of really cool stories surrounding Sloppy Joe's. The bar had a couple of names in its early years. So this guy that owned it, his name was Joe Russell. And Joe, in the early 1930s, had a fishing boat that he would regularly take to Cuba to potentially transport rum.
So, early 30s, prior to 1933?
Yeah.
Kind of might make this him Prohibition rum runner?
Potentially. So, here's the thing. It was in the heart of the Depression. Everyone was poor. Joe just needed to make a buck. I'm just saying. So he'd go to Cuba a couple times a week, come back with a boatload of the popular Cuban beverage, and then he sold it initially at a really small stand next to the marina in front of the feds for like 15 cents a shot.
Oh my, those lucky locals.
Right? So then when Prohibition was repealed, and since, he already had the inventory, he decided to go legit.
And the customers, right?
And customers. But this is about the time that he met Hemingway.
Oh, probably his most loyal customer.
Potentially, yes.
Hey, would it surprise you to hear I read his book?
Which one?
What do you mean, which one? The Old Man in the Sea. He wrote more than one?
Literary giant here. Yes, he did write more than one book. actually. Wow. So the two men became lifelong friends, Russell and Hemingway. Russell was actually the boat captain that enabled Hemingway to catch 115 swordfish in 90 days.
Get out of town. Wow.
And then one of Hemingway's books, To Have and Have Not the Old Man in the Sea, but in Hemingway's book, To Have and Have Not, the owner of Freddy's Bar and the captain of the Queen Conch are both Joe Russell. That's who Hemingway wrote about, Joe Russell, and named him Fred. Anyway, the fact that the entire book is also about Key West during the Depression. So, today you can go to Sloppy Joe's for a good time, day or night. The whole easygoing atmosphere is a throwback from the time that Russell was there, and it carries on through today. Oh, here's another cool story. After Russell died, Hemingway left the island for good, left Key West. People were hired to clean out his house, and so they boxed up all of his stuff, and they weren't quite sure where to put it because Hemingway didn't leave a forwarding address. So they boxed it up and put it in the only place that they knew somebody would look for it, the back room at Sloppy Joe's. So it was actually there for 20 years.
Oh my.
Upon Hemingway's death, his then wife, not sure which one number that was, I think number 4 possibly. Anyway, his widow went to retrieve all of his stuff, and in there she found uncashed royalty checks,
winner,
unpublished manuscripts, and of course, tons of photographs, most of which she gave to the bar. So the cool part is you can go to Sloppy Joe's and see original Ernest Hemingway photos hanging on the wall all over the bar.
Well, there's just a whole lot of reasons why that needs to be our first stop.
Exactly. Plus, you'll be hungry. So
I will be hungry. I mean, I could really go for the catch of the day, a little fresh fish, some key lime pie, and that southern delicacy, hush puppies. Ooh. So what's next?
Oh, I'm kind of hungry, but yeah, I'm figuring we could probably go over to the Hemingway House.
All right. The way you're talking, I thought he lived at the bar.
Yeah, so did a lot of other people. But this is another cool story. So Hemingway and his then wife, Pauline, I think she was number 2, I'm not sure. But anyway, they arrived in Key West from Cuba. They had made an ocean voyage from Paris in April of 1928. Arrived in Cuba, and then took the 90-mile jaunt from Cuba into Key West. So Pauline's uncle had purchased them, the couple, Hemingway and Pauline, a brand new Ford Roadster.
What an uncle.
I know. So their first order of business was to find the car. So they arrived at the Ford dealership only to find that the car had been delayed.
Nothing changes.
Right? So the Ford dealership in Key West felt terrible about this, and they insisted on putting the Hemingways up in a nice apartment above the Ford dealership storeroom.
Okay.
They stayed there for 3 weeks until the car arrived.
So I'm guessing they liked it and stayed?
That they did. And today you can actually visit the Hemingway House on Whitehead Street, where you'll meet descendants of the original 6-toed cat that Hemingway was given by a ship's captain. The little kitty cat's name was Snow White, and it's believed that many of the cats at the museum and on the island are descendants of this cat.
Oh my goodness. I was actually at the Hemingway House.
Really?
Yeah, my mother insisted that we go. And my father insisted that we only go and look around the outside because he didn't want to pay the cost of admission.
I can see that. Yeah.
So you said Hemingway caught a bunch of swordfish?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, boy, that's something that's always been on my bucket list. Do you think I could do that when we go?
Well, according to the official website of the Florida Keys, and I'll leave that link below, the website says that they have over a dozen deep-sea fishing excursions that'll take you to the waters near the Gulf Stream where the big ones live.
All right.
So some of the granders can weigh almost 1,000 pounds.
Yeah.
That's a big fish.
It is.
So if you want something a little easier, there's also fishing charters that specialize in light tackle. And if you have a bunch of friends that you want to go fishing with, you can hop aboard one of the party boats with all your buddies and your fishing rods and spend a day or a half day on the water.
Party!
Be sure to take your sunscreen. You know how you burn. Here's the thing. While you're fishing, I think I'm going to go snorkeling.
Snorkeling? You're going to love that. I remember when I was there, we did that. We got the face masks and the flippers, and it was more beautiful under the water than it was on top of the water.
That's why I want to go.
Yeah, in fact, the Florida Keys are home to the only coral reef in the waters off the continental United States.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
The reef that runs from Key Largo all the way south to Key West, almost 100 miles. And there are just a bunch of boat charters that can take you out for the day to explore this underwater paradise.
That sounds pretty nice, yeah. Well, that's what I want to do. Sounds amazing.
Yeah, these coral reefs are beautiful, but they also have been dangerous and are believed to be the cause of numerous shipwrecks that dot the coast.
Shipwrecks.
Many of the earliest settlers in Key West were actually salvagers of these wrecks, and they got the clever name of the wreckers. And they would dive these wrecks and recover the goods, artifacts, and treasure from these wrecks.
Do you suppose there were pirates?
Absolutely there were pirates. In fact, Commodore David Porter made it his job to banish these rogues from the islands.
Yar, ye rogue.
Today, you can visit Mel Fisher's Maritime Museum or the Key West Shipwreck Museum to learn all about the seafaring spirit and adventure that makes Key West what it is today.
So, do you think we could find treasure?
I don't see why not. I'm taking my metal detector, and I definitely will be looking for my own top pocket find.
All right, Gary. Well, there's one more thing that I've always wanted to do, and that's to see the Route 1 mile marker 0 and the Southernmost Point buoy.
Buoy or boy? Is it boy? Anyways, well, that is a great place for a photo op. I do remember being there.
And that's what I want to do. Snap, snap. Anyway, I read, this is actually a really cool thing about that area. I read that every night, 2 hours prior to sunset, at the Southernmost Point buoy, they have the sunset celebration.
Ooh.
Every single night there's a festival. Like I said, 2 hours before sunset. There's arts and crafts and psychics and crystals and street performers and food carts and drink vendors. So you come for the fun, you grab a drink, grab some food, you wait for the entertainment, and then watch the sun drop into the sea.
Then it's party time.
That sounds wonderful, doesn't it? Just sounds like so much fun.
It sounds awesome. And the fact that it happens every night fits perfectly into my busy schedule.
Okay. One more place we have to visit is the Key West Lighthouse.
I thought we almost missed that one.
Yeah. Huh. Well, the tower's open and visitors can climb the 88 steps to the top of the light. And the keeper's quarters are open also. And if you're really brave, we can go there for one of their haunted after dark tours.
Come down 88 steps in the dark, I might be a ghost.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you had fun today or if you learned something cool about Key West, please leave a comment. That really helps our channel.
Until next time, don't let the small stuff get to you.
Always enjoy the journey no matter where you're traveling.
Be nice to your fellow travelers, and above all,
Have
fun.
Hey, we'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and be sure to hit that notification bell. And for even more fun tales, check out our other playlists at youtube.com/thefunchasers.